This is a movie about how bisexuals are not to be trusted.
Okay.
But I think on another level, really, Basic Instinct is about true love conquering all.
Okay.
Because she's a murderer, and she's so hot, Michael Douglas doesn't care. And it's really a movie about him believing he can cure her with his
Okay.
And he kind of does. So at the beginning of the movie, Michael Douglas and Gus, his chubby wisecracking sidekick, he's another cop. So they show up to this rock star's mansion, and he's been stabbed to death with an ice pick. And then, so they're like, his girlfriend was named Catherine Trammell. That's Sharon Stone. So the next part of the movie is them going like, so the rock star was your boyfriend. And she's like, he wasn't my boyfriend. They're like, well, he was your husband? No. We were just fucking. And they're like, dear God. They're like, you're telling me you're kissing girls, smoking cigarettes, and having sex for fun? We could take you in just for that. So, but then he goes back into the station, and he has to have a meeting with Jean Triplehorn, his beautiful ex-girlfriend, who's also his psychologist. Oh. Apparently he was involved in a shooting. So his girlfriend has to evaluate him still to make sure he's okay. But I guess he shot some. They keep saying tourists.
He shot a tourist?
He shot 2 tourists.
What? Oh, no.
The story on Sharon Stone is she's a genius, and her last book was about a rock star who dies. They cut to Michael Douglas reading the book, and in the book, a woman kills a rock star with an ice pick.
Oh.
So then they have a scene with the psychologist where he's like, it's my professional opinion that this is one dangerous bitch. I think at some point it comes up that that's the perfect alibi. She's going to say that she would never murder someone in the way she wrote in her own book.
Oh, sure.
So it's so incriminating it becomes an alibi again.
Oh.
And we have the famous, this is the scene everyone remembers. And it does make you realize kind of how quaint 1992 was. Because again, kind of the whole scene is still her explaining what a fuck buddy is. So who married you? Who was your priest? How many children did you have? And she's like, I did it. They're like, why? And she's like, for the pleasure. And they're like, for the fucking pleasure? Wait, but we don't understand. I think she showed them her pussy just to try to explain. She's like, no, this is where the pleasure. I did it for this. I like it in my pussy right here. And they were like, we're not getting this. He fucked me right here in my pussy. And it feels good. And they're like, it feels good, you sick bitch? So she flashes her cooch. And America loved it. You know what's funny is Newman from Seinfeld is in the front row sweating, looking at her like it's a delicious candy bar. He's looking at it like it's Jurassic Park, and he wants to fuck it up.
Oh no!
And she's not supposed to smoke in there, but she does. She's like, I kiss girls and I smoke cigarettes, and oops, I guess I forgot to wear underwear today. Fuck you, Dad.
Yeah. Oh, she's so wrong.
They're asking her sexual questions because the victim was tied up and he did coke. So they're like, hey, you like coke? You like, it's date questions. Sure, so you like to get tied up? You like coke? But everyone's so upset. It's it's the most intimidating thing she could have done. You know what it is? All these murder detectives, they all suddenly at the same time had the thought, I really hope she likes me. They all got nervous. They're like, oh, she's so cool. Yeah. Oh, she's so cool. Oh. You couldn't really, you half see it. I mean, this thing's been explored, like the moon landing. Okay. Like people have gone back, they've blown it up, they've looked into it. Oh yeah, this is the Zapruder film. Yes. Yeah, this has been the most investigated piece of footage, which I think you see more than we don't know. It's almost like a religious event. Like when you look at Sharon Stone's in this movie, you see like your fears and your hopes. It becomes like whatever you need it to be. It's different things depending where you're at in your life. Like if you look deep into it, you know what you need to do next in your life. He goes to visit Sharon Stone again, Michael Douglas, and he sees that she's got all these articles about him. And she's like, oh, you're going to be my next book. I hope you don't mind. Roxy, her girlfriend, has like Kristen Stewart energy. Okay. She's always like, oh, my head hurts. And now I think is when they have sex for the first time. So then he walks out of the bed. He had a great time, and then we see Michael Douglas's little tushy, his old man butt. No. Did somebody order Mickey D's? That's what I call Michael Douglas's little butt. Then he goes to Sharon Stone's place. They have sex again, and then she mentions in bed, she's like, yeah, women are always obsessed with me. There was this girl in college who was stalking me, and she dyed her hair to look like me. And then she mentions a name. And then Michael Douglas is in the parking lot talking to Gus, and he's like, I don't know, I don't think she did it. Because he's had sex with her so many times. He's like, She's misunderstood. She's a nice girl. Oh, and then he goes to the police computer. Because back then you had to know a guy with a computer.
Sure.
And then the name of the girl that was obsessed, they bring it up. It's Jean Triplehorn.
What?
She changed her name. We're starting to set up maybe Triplehorn is obsessed with Stone and she's doing all this. So he goes over to her house. The ending of her book's printing out on an old school printer. She's printing out just old school pornography. Just But back when you had to wait for an image to load, it took a day to load pornography. What kind of sick freak? I'm going to go to dinner with my friends and hope the porn's ready when I get home. What's so funny is we can read what he reads. And it reads, dying, dead partner, I'm going to kill his partner. And he's like, oh, that's interesting. But then she comes down and she's really cold. And she's like, in the book, your character's dead. Leave. You're nothing to me anymore. Oh. And then she goes and stands by the old lady she's sleeping with. And he's like, ugh. Yeah. The most disgusted Michael Douglas looks in this whole movie is when it's revealed that Sharon Stone is actually having sex with an older woman. She's doing age gap lesbianism. And Michael Douglas is like, bloody ice pick is one thing, but rusty scissors. Please leave. Me and German Chancellor Angela Merkel would really like you to leave, please. This thing goes all the way to the top. Now the Germans are involved? Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to fuck Carrie Fisher's mother. Now, if you'll excuse me, I am going to make dirty love in exchange for a discount at the arts and crafts store that this woman owns. Now I can sit wherever I want at Denny's because I am sleeping with the hostess. My diabolicalness knows no ends. Then Gus picks him up and he's like, hey, I got a lead on Sharon Stone's roommate from college. She's going to tell us everything. She wants to meet us in this hotel. From all of his antics, he's on leave. So Gus is like, you wait in the car. I'll go up and check it out. He's waiting in the car. It takes him forever. He remembers what he read. He's like, man, Sharon Stone's so great. She's so good at writing books. I love that part at the end where the partner died. Whoa, shit. Wait a second. The elevator stops at every floor. And then it opens on the 4th floor. Stab, stab, stab. And he's running up the stairs. And it said in the book, runs up the stairs. He runs up the stairs. Gus is so much blood. And then right then, Jean Triplehorn walks in. And she's like, oh, hey, what's up? And he's like, it's you. You did this. And she said, I got a phone call that Gus wanted to meet me up here. And she's coming at him with her hand in her pocket. And he shoots her. Because he thinks she's got a gun in her pocket. He gets her hand out of her pocket. It's this big Bart Simpson keychain.
Oh, come on.
Is this just another prank from the Cowabunga bad boy, Bart Simpson? Was Bart Simpson behind this whole thing? Ay caramba. The police go to Jean Triplehorn's house, who's dead now, and they find she's got all of Sharon Stone's books. And she's got all of these clippings, all of these pictures of her with Sharon Stone, and all these newspaper articles about Sharon Stone, and she's obsessed. So they're like, oh, I guess she did it. Sharon Stone comes back, and she's crying, and she's like, I'm sorry I was so cold. I was afraid to commit. Everyone I love has been killed. So he hugs her. He's like, let's be in love. They have sex again.
Nice.
I think we're supposed to think she's not the murderer at this point. And then there's a thing where the next morning they're lying in bed and we see her reach for something on the side of the bed. Okay. And we're like, oh shit, is she the murderer? Yeah. And then she comes up real quick with her hand, and it's the hand she's going to love him with because she grabs his head and kisses him. Oh. It was just a very violent, I love you, buddy. Who's my guy? Zooms down, ice pick under the bed. She was the murderer the whole time.
Oh, shit.
Reverse.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. She's still the murderer, but she decided not to kill him. So it's really the greatest love story ever told. Because really, what is love, Jordan?
I don't know.
Here's what the movie's telling us. You know what love is? Love is waking up every morning and looking deep into the eyes of that special person you decided to share your life with and making a conscious decision not to murder that motherfucker. It is almost quaint by today's standard because the world-famous, mind-blowing scene in this movie is also just everything on my Instagram search page. I think show your pussy to the police is a TikTok challenge that's come and gone. That's nothing nowadays. The past was doing its best.
That's the theme song.
Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. They were doing their best.